So is Quoth really a Mary Sue? Well, that, just as anything else in fiction, is a matter of opinion. Quoth is the main character of the Kvothe Chronicles, and I would say he's a bit of a controversial character. There are those who love him because they think that he is flawless and amazing and great for numerous reasons. But there are also those who hate him for the very same reason, that they believe that he is flawless and he gets everything that he wants, and things just go his way. However, I'd like to point out that that is not entirely accurate, and I'd also like to go into what I believe a Mary Sue is. So, what is a Mary Sue? Well, you could easily Google that. I won't go into specifics of what a Mary Sue actually is, but the basic rundown of Mary Sue is a character who is almost perfect in every way. They are beautiful, intelligent, and if in fantasy and fiction, like the Kvothe Chronicles, usually they are the most powerful or the most gifted at what they do. Now, the most common place you could find a Mary Sue is in fan fiction, because fan fiction really exists not to tell a narrative or to develop deep and interesting characters. Fan fiction is just there, generally just for fun. So Mary Sue. Okay, so I will say that on paper, and if you were to explain the character to a person without them actually having read the books, yes, Quoth would seem like a Mary Sue. So from the very beginning, Quoth is very intelligent as a young child. He learns very quickly, and he's loved by almost everyone in his troop. He grew up in we're traveling troupe of performers, and he's very well loved in that group, which is another trope. And not only that, but later on in the story, slight spoilers, he acquires many other skills and sort of becomes like this jack of all trades. He learns magic, he learns how to kind of be a thief, he learns how to be a badass fighter, and on paper that would make him seem like a total Mary Sue. Like if it was an RPG or Skyrim or something. He's kind of that character that you've maxed out. He's learned something from every trait. He's got a little bit of thief in him, a little bit of mage, and a little bit of warrior. So it kind of seems like he is Mary Sue, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that he is not. With all the reasons I've given for him being a Mary Sue, why would I say that he is not? It's because, yes, he is really good at all these things, and he's very beautiful. Women love him, and in the last book, yeah, he kind of does fall into that trope of women falling for him all over the place and whatnot. But I will say, when it comes down to it, no, he's not Mary Sue, because the character is deeply flawed in many ways. For a good example of what I'm talking about would be the situations that he finds himself in. For example, later on in the story he meets a very wealthy character who could provide him with a lot of aid in his quest and really secure his future and basically make life easier for him just in general. However, Quoth kind of screws it up once again because of his temper, essentially, and his temper is something that really gets into trouble quite often. Not only that, but then there's also his arrogance. Quoth is a very intelligent character, as I've said before, and while that could come across as another feather in his hat for being a Mary Sue, his intelligence is also a hindrance, because with intelligence often comes arrogance, and Quoth is a very arrogant character. He chooses, once he sets his mind to doing something his way, that's the way he does it, and it does not always work out the best for him doing things his own way. Another reason why I would say Quoth definitely is not a Mary Sue is, well, things seem to almost never work out in his favor. I mean, like, yeah, they do occasionally, and like as I said, he's very talented and whatnot. But there are also times, and it's usually the major things that don't work in his favor. For example, him being poisoned, being put on trial, his rivalry with Ambrose, things of that nature. But I think the nail in the coffin for the idea that Kvothe A Mary Sue really comes in the very first chapter, in the very first few lines, actually. I won't repeat the quote here, I'll probably just put it on screen, but yeah, the very first lines in describing like who Kvothe is and like what kind of person he is in the future while he's telling the story of his past, you come to realize that despite all his great deeds and like his fame and like his skill and talent, in the end, the story that we're reading is not about how Kvothe is great and all the great things he goes on to do and how he's a chosen one or whatever. No, it's not about that. This story is about the rise and fall of a great man. So, in other words, we're not witnessing some glorious fan fiction here. No, that's not what this is. What we're seeing here is a tragedy. Yes, he's talented, he's skilled in many areas. However, we're about to witness this great man fall. And in the end, I just can't see how you would equate him to a Mary Sue, because a Mary Sue would save the day in the end. Kvothe, I do not see that happening here. I see him failing, and I see him falling from grace. So there you have it. Those are just the reasons that I personally don't see Kvothe and Mary Sue. All the other criticisms that are present against him, like his relationship with Denna. Now that I can understand people not like him, but just the thought that he's a Mary Sue, I don't buy into that really. So thank you. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below.